Batman Superman #1, written by Greg Pak, art by Jay Lee and Ben Oliver. So, this kind of just came up out of nowhere. And I honestly have a hard time telling exactly when it's placed because it seems to kind of argue against a lot of established continuity. But we pick up years ago in Gotham City. Clark Kent is making his way through town. He's walking through the middle of prostitutes and stuff like that, and he's like, "Dear Lord, what is this? What is this hellhole of a town?" And we cut to the other side of Gotham in some sort of park where a bunch of kids are bullying this last kid named Zach, and Bruce Wayne, in disguise as just a homeless dude, is sitting there watching the whole thing, and he's like, "Oh, this kid's about to reach his breaking point, and he's going to show him what happens when you get pushed to the edge." And so he's about to unleash his inner fury on these bullies. And then all of a sudden Clark Kent runs in, and he's like, "Hey, you kids, stop that. You shouldn't be fighting." And so all the bullies back off. And then Clark looks over at the kid, and the kid's just flipping him off. And he's like, "Well, that's... didn't expect that." And Bruce, still in character, is just like, "I don't think that was the help that kid wanted. I don't think you really need to get in there." And so Clark looks over at Bruce, and he's like, "Oh, well, didn't expect to see the Bruce Wayne sitting here." And Bruce is like, "How the hell is this guy know? I'm not Bruce Wayne. What are you talking about?" And he's like, "Yeah, okay. Anyway, my name's Clark Kent. I work for the Daily Star. Can I have a word with you?" And he's like, "Okay, fine. Yes, I am Bruce Wayne. I am slumming it on the bad end of town. What do you want?" And he's like, "Oh, I don't run a gossip column. Don't worry, I'm not here to out you or anything like that. But 3 Wayne Enterprises employees have been murdered in Metropolis in the last 8 hours. You have any comment on that?" And at that point, Bruce is like, "Well, I have to get going. Goodbye." And so he just gets up and tries to leave. And Clark calls him out. He's like, "Don't you care about the people in danger?" And Bruce tells him, "Not going to break character. I've got to keep up the Playboy thing, but this guy just gets under my skin for some reason." And he's like, "Oh, you think you can help him? Yeah, just like you helped that kid there. Not everybody needs your style of help." So at that point, we see kind of just a quick little breakdown of, Clark describing his time in Smallville and how mom and pa taught him everything until they died in a car accident. And then Bruce's time in Gotham and how his mom and pa taught him anything until they died in an alley. And then we get back to the main story where in Metropolis, Bruce has bribed all of his employees to just leave for the night, except for one of them who was a former Marine, and he thought he was higher and more powerful than would ever show up. And then Catwoman shows up and is just starts destroying this guy, scratching him up to bits. Turns out his daughter's there as well, so she shows up. And as soon as the daughter gets involved, and it looks like Catwoman's going to do something awful to her, Batman comes crashing in through the giant clock face here and starts beating up Catwoman as best he can. However, in the middle of this guy activates a security protocol that's apparently experimental Wayne tech, and it starts attacking not only Catwoman, but Batman as well. So then Bruce has to grab the controller, enter in a different activation code, which then causes a bunch of horrific-looking robots to spring out of the ground and start attacking Catwoman, which at that point, Superman busts in through a wall and starts going after Batman because from his perspective, Batman just sicked a bunch of giant robots on some people. He's not an okay dude. And he's just throwing them around like they're nothing, and Batman's like, "Dear Lord, this guy, he's just bent titanium bones. If he sneezes, I'm dead." So he tries to do what he can. He throws out some back grenades and whatnot, trying to mess around with Superman's senses. And Clark in his narration is just like, "Okay, he's starting to make me angry. This guy is kind of a dick. And I'm just going to go ahead and take him out because this freak needs to be taken out." So at that point, Batman manages to sneak in a back grenade to the point where it blasts Clark outside of the building. This is before he knows how to fly. He's still in his t-shirt and jeans phase. So he crashes down to the street below and has a filing cabinet fall on top of him. And it looks like Bruce is just throwing everything out the window trying to get it to land on Superman. Superman blasts some of it with his heat vision. And then we see Catwoman this whole time. Turns out she has actually been possessed by this weird spirit-looking creature. And the spirit comes out of it and says, all right, now let's have some real fun. So as Superman jumps up to attack Batman again, Batman's ready to fight back. The spirit jumps in the middle, causes a big explosion that makes both of them disappear, and just leaves Catwoman like, why in the hell am I in Metropolis? So we follow Superman, who comes out of the explosion, and as he gets his senses again, he sees that he's in Smallville, and he crashes down to the ground, and it's just like, okay, whatever that bat thing is, he knows why I'm back in Smallville, and he knows to go to Smallville. He knows my secret identity. I got to take him out. And as he turns around, he sees Batman there, but he's wearing a different costume. He's not wearing the same thing, and Batman's like, Clark, what are you doing? Also, why are you wearing the t-shirt and jeans getup again? And Batman activates a kryptonite thing as Superman goes to attack him. And he's like, how did you know about kryptonite? And he's like, you told me to have this ready, like, just in case you ever went rogue. Like, are you okay, man? It seems like you're not even recognizing me. And at that point, Clark's like, I don't know you. You're awful. And he is dying because of the kryptonite. So Batman very quickly is like, okay, sorry, yeah, kryptonite, I'll turn it off. So he goes to turn it off. Clark actually gets in, grabs the kryptonite, and throws it away before he can. He's like, yeah, all right, fair enough. But you need to rest. You've been weakened. And Superman's like, oh, good. That means I can go all out. And he just starts beating the crap out of Batman to the point where Batman's like, okay, I ain't doing so hot here. I need to worry about this. But then Clark looks over as he has Batman on the ropes. He hears a familiar voice. Turns out it's Pa Kent, Jonathan Kent, who's still alive, and he comes up and he sees Clark and he's like, son, what are you doing? What have you done? And we get that ghost face again saying, oh, this is just perfect. I don't know what the hell's going on. I mean, obviously we're going with some version of an origin story, like way back to the point where they first met. But the issue being is that Jeff Johns in Justice League Origin already established how they met. That was in issue 2 of Justice League. Like, that was one of the first things that happened. So I don't really know how we can change that up. It seems like we're going with a parallel timeline or universe or something, but like, it's weird. It's a weird little mix up here, and I'm interested. It's got me intrigued, but I'm just not sure where it's going. As for the art, both Jay Lee and Ben Oliver give this very dreamlike quality to it, which makes all of it just feel off. Nobody seems like it's on model. All of them are just this super stylized version of themselves. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's definitely an acclimated taste sort of thing. And I'm not quite acclimated yet. So I'm interested in this book, but it's throwing a lot at me all at once. And I don't think it's quite found its footing with issue 1. Like, it's a good eye catch, but it really needs to deliver next issue is what I'm saying. So overall, this one I'm going to say, I can't give it over a 7 just because it's a bit too messy. It's just got a bit too much thrown in right now. I'm curious, I'm interested, and maybe in hindsight I would give this a higher rating, but as for right now, it's just a flat 7.